Barstool Pick'em, Week 10. I suck. I'm going to start here. I suck. I let
suck
everyone
worse,
down.
Dan.
No,
I suck
no,
worse.
I
Hand
suck.
up.
I let everyone down. I was terrible last week. It was a horrific performance. You know it's bad when Rico gives you the pity text on your mortal lock. He texted me and he was like, "Oh man, Memphis really tough," because he knows the best thing for Rico is that I suck so bad that it's taking the heat off of him. So I'm bad. I spent 3 hours. I went over the board this week.
I got in your cage a little bit.
You got in my cage. Listen, we got a busy. The falls are busy.
What?
You're inspiring people.
Yeah, no, the falls are busy, and I fucked up. So I went 3 hours last night. I sat there in the darkness in the office while the World Series game was on, and I have a 24 play card.
It's a big card.
24
Huge
plays.
card.
I got a 16
Huge.
play. And while this is a giant pity party, we'd be remiss not to mention I was 12-5 last week.
Yep.
Great picks. Good picks, Dave.
I think right now I'm seeing the board very clearly. It took me a while in college football. I've been great in the NFL. I have the best record on this show. I have by far the best record on the NFL show. I'm not putting anybody else down. I'm just saying you may want to ride your guy right now. I watch a lot of football. I don't have oblos. You guys both have oblos.
Yeah, I
do
oblos.
not. I do not.
true.
I just watch everything. So it's showing.
True. But
You
with
do that
said,
interesting thing, though, where you'll do 50 tweets in a half-hour span and then disappear for a couple hours.
Yeah, those are oblos. He's got oblos. You have oblos.
I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying it's interesting. Like, you'll be, every play of, like, Pitt, Miami, you're hammering, and then
Well, here's the thing.
it's
with
just
Dave.
you have crazy tendencies on Twitter.
Here's
you
the
do.
thing. Well, no, they're not crazy. If you followed him long enough, you know him. Dave, if he is tweeting a lot about a game, that means that he's doing bad but not horrific. If he goes silent, he's lost everything. He's had moments where he will go not silent your way though. Rico.
All right.
I'm saying silent like he's watching the game and he's just watching tragedy after tragedy. He'll answer people and he'll step up to the music the next day. But if he's not like when it gets really really bad,
I'm trying to think.
It's like a dark spot.
I'm trying to think, but I was good on Saturday, so I'm trying to think what was going on, why I wouldn't have been tweeting it. A lot of times when action just takes over, I have so many different things like keeping track of that
Right.
I'm not on Twitter. I'm
Right.
like changing the channel. I'm on
Stuff.
like scores.
I can't believe you still only have one TV in your house.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
You need to get someone in there to install some more.
Really?
Yeah, one.
You
I mean, I have
gotta-
to one in a different room, but I watch on the one. I'm just turning the
You're
channel.
just
I'm
going
on
back
everything.
and forth to every game.
Every game.
Holy shit.
Yep. That's why I get off Twitter.
Yeah, you need to get multiple TVs because that streamlines everything.
I mean, I don't know if you saw what happened in the World Series yesterday. I got caught up like tweeting, and I paused, and I didn't realize I was 5 minutes
That's the
behind.
worst.
It's like
I hate that.
Everyone did ball don't lie on the home run. And I'm like, oh, they're just predicting ball don't lie.
Yeah.
And then I saw Rendon. I'm like, wait a minute. Why? What? They would have predicted it the batter after, not two later, because
And then home run.
yeah, and then home run. And I was like happy because I bet the Nats, but it kind of spoiled it. If we're being, it was a great
Yeah,
moment.
no,
though.
Yeah.
that sucks. You got spoiled.
Yeah, 5 minutes. No one was saying anything either. Why weren't people like what you're tweeting like 5 minutes behind?
Right.
Why are you piling on JV? I mean, I know he sucks, but
I'm not piling on Verlander. I am.
He speaks facts.
All
right.
You respect me.
I think he's a gamer. I like him.
Well, he's good in I guess the like ALCS, but 0-6 is 0-6 in the World Series. 5.73 coming in. When you have that differential between regular season dominance, 0-6. That's when you're of his ilk in stature. That means there's something wrong with you in the big moments. That's not piling on. I wasn't piling on.
No,
fair.
it's the same as the Kershaw stuff.
Yes. Fair.
And my point was,
I just like
everyone
JV,
knows that.
that's all.
Well,
Why?
I think he's a gamer. Tough guy.
But he's
okay,
not.
but 0-6 says he's not.
So why do you like him? You like him for something he's
Do you
not.
admit he's not a gamer?
He's struggled in the World Series.
Well, that's the biggest game.
and 5.73. All right.
So
I guess
what-
you're right.
Yeah. Okay.
You're right, you're
So
right.
do you not like him anymore?
No, I still like
I
him.
have nothing against Verlander, by the way. It's just, and I like Kershaw as a person. I think he's like seems like a fun guy to hang out with. But we have to call these men to the carpet. The
Yeah.
national media won't. I will, Rico.
I've been doing that for years.
Okay.
Fran Fraschilla hates America. Seth Greenberg wouldn't play anybody. Vitel's past his prime. I call everybody out.
Well,
Yeah.
not Verlander though.
All right. So the other thing we got to do before we get to the cards, Rico, Peter Lugers. What's going on?
So I dove in. I don't want to overreact, but
You overreacted at some point.
It's a 0-star rating.
Yeah.
This is a day later, so for people who don't know, Peter Luger's got a 0-star rating from the New York Times.
It's your number one restaurant.
Number
right?
one restaurant.
Yes.
Rico, you definitely overreacted yesterday. You're calm now, but you overreacted.
Yeah.
You bit your hand.
I got mad.
Yeah.
So
You're as mad as
if you
as
look
Lenny.
into that guy, what that guy does, he's like Stephen A. He's like Jim Rome. It's a tale as long as old as time.
When
He d-
Moses is wearing short pants.
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily believe what he's saying. He's just looking for the reaction or the clickbait. That's
He's
why
looking to get
he's
the
looking to be
Ricos
like
of the world
right,
upset.
and I don't fall for that trap.
But I've been told that he's only given 2 0-star ratings in
What
the
was the other
history
one?
of him doing it. Sugarfish, which I actually like. But
He ripped the
But
guy I hate's burger place.
Who?
The
Wait,
guy who
you
jumps
don't
on
say
the
that word-
pile.
so what do you-
I could say it.
Guy Fieri,
Yeah,
friend of the program.
I know he ripped his in the New York Post article yesterday.
but
he was piling on his place.
Listen,
yeah. It's Times Square. Yeah.
Peter Luger's did send me an email, thank me because we wrote an article. I don't know who wrote it, saying it was over the top, but I got a personal thank you from Peter Luger's.
Well, that's the kind of place they are.
Can I finish?
Yeah, sure.
They said you're welcome here anytime. We'd love for you to come in, but have a burger. I will say this: I wasn't blown away by it when I went. I wasn't.
I thought it was a good
I didn't hate it,
steak
but
place.
the way if you're gonna make me go out of the way for something as you did, Rico, it better be something that absolutely is mind blowing. It wasn't. You have, unfortunately, to me right now, no restaurant credibility, none.
Oh my God.
What about you?
doesn't.
What'd you think?
Okay, so I think I know the problem with this. So Peter Luger's, I like Peter Luger's. It wasn't the best steak I've ever had. It also wasn't the worst. It was a good steak.
that's fair.
It was a good, nice steak. Like, I'd go back. The problem with Peter Luger's is it's cash only. Is it not? Did we pay cash?
You can.
I'm now hearing whispers. It used to be it was cash and Peter Luger's credit card.
Right.
I'm now hearing whispers that they do take debit cards. They definitely take debit cards behind the bar.
I
so-
believe we had to pay cash.
We had to pay cash.
And I just happen to have.
Right.
There's not many people rolling around without knowing that, by the way. We had, 6, 8 people there?
Yes.
The Cowboy was there. You were there.
Yeah.
I was there. I had over like $1,000.
Cowboy had a couple
I know.
drinks.
You got to be careful with that. You got girls throwing drinks on. People are out to get you.
Well,
Just be careful.
Like if you're telling me to go to Peter Luger's, I have to know it's cash.
I
only.
understand that. But
I got lucky.
Don't be telling people that what you're rolling around with. Keep that.
He doesn't always have it.
All right, good.
I said I was lucky to have it.
All right, yeah.
You can say your watch to it. I'll tell you where I'm going this weekend. I will have a lot of cash on me flying back from the British Cup. That's a fact.
Whoa. That's assuming you win?
You have to feel that way.
I know you have to feel that way, but I don't want the
Have you
guy
ever
who's going to
with
mug
Breeders, right?
you.
British Cup.
The person who's going to mug you, I don't want them to waste their time mugging you if you lose.
It's true, but I will say I'm looking this up right.
Just a bunch of slips.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Like
Jesus.
don't go
Do
mugging
you know what I do
Dave.
now because gambling's legal? I bring always a bunch of my losing slips back for tax reasons in case I win. But I do have this from 3/13 yesterday out of the blue. With no hyperbole at all, Elio, we are going to win the tournament.
Oh,
So-
fuck yes.
Good. Confidence.
Gotta have
Psychokinetics.
Let's go.
And he's also asked me for every contact I have in the horse racing industry, their phone numbers, so he can do research.
He's
so
throwing his life into this.
yes,
Yes.
Now he has oblos. He doesn't care. The Elio the third is probably just like sitting there thinking he has no dad because it's Breeders' Cup weekend.
All right, so back to Peter Luger's. The reason why I think Peter Luger's might have this reputation now, when you have to pay cash at a steakhouse, it feels like it's paying a lot more. And I know that might sound crazy, but a $250, $300 dinner cash is different than a credit card.
I also think only having cash is like dropping your nuts on the table. Like,
Right.
To pull that move, you have to have like superior food.
Yes, but yeah, don't you think that there's a difference? Like if you go to dinner and you pay credit card, you're like you don't even think about what you just paid for.
Yeah,
Cash is cash.
is
I mean, why do you
Cash
think
is-
they pay you
cash
in
is
chips
thing.
at a casino? If you knowingly won thousands of dollars,
No, I don't
It's
think
not-
that's
it's
why.
not-
I don't think that's why they use chips at a
the
table
same-
at all.
what?
No, it's
It's the
totally
same
No,
rate.
No,
no,
it's
no,
not
no,
even
no.
close.
Irrelevant. Imagine having to
Am I
use
gonna
cash
just say-
constantly.
Imagine
That's-
being like,
It's the
I'm going to double
same
down.
ration-
Here's 50.
No, it
here's
isn't.
2 quarters.
It's totally.
it's the same
totally-
rationale. If you got paid out
No, it
50
isn't.
grand on a bet,
No, it
you're
isn't.
more likely to walk away.
No,
the chips are not.
You're wrong.
Ma-
The chips are because you can't. Like even when you play poker with your friends, you have to use chips.
I
because
underst-
it's just easier.
But
You
under
can't-
that, if you
Are we
were
gonna
right,
let me? Are we gonna let me finish
wait,
it?
but hold on. If you were right before, I'll let you finish. But if you were right, then they would pay sports bets out with chips too under that line of thinking.
well, they give you it's money up in a corner. You hit a big bet. It's just a big number in the corner. You're not going to collect
They
that.
give you cash at a casino.
Cash.
Oh no. Well, I'm saying.
But he said if
Right.
you had a casino, they would give you chips back
but
instead of cash.
Well, you have to put cash down to place the bet. I thought you
Well,
were
you have
on
to
the
put
book.
cash to get chips.
Right. If they were trying to get you to keep placing bets, they would give you chips back,
Correct.
not cash back.
Right.
But you've kind of put me in a pretzel here.
Yeah, I know. We know.
I mean, what you said was
know.
dead wrong.
No, listen. My
ease
rationale
of-
is this:
it's
if you hit a
ease
number in
of use
roulette
at
and
a
you get
table.
50 grand cash bundled up in front of you, you're gonna be like, "What? I own 50 grand." When you own the chips, you're not as tied to it. It's not
that's
like
not why they're
That's
doing
not why
it.
they use it. Imagine
I think
having
they-
to have that much cash on hand at every table.
no, I don't think they would. They could. That's what.
That's
why
exactly.
Imagine playing fucking blackjack and having to put down a $20 bill
And
every single
every time cash out would actually count out like the
I
cash.
get it. That's why it's impossible. They're giving it to you to fuck with you
No,
mentally.
no, you're combining
I think
two
they
things.
are.
No,
I think they
you
are.
had it for a second. You agreed with us for a second.
Yeah, and then you lost your
It
way
just
again.
I don't
to
think so.
manage the cash would be impossible.
I
from
get that.
logistics.
I get that.
Okay, then let's leave it there. That's the reason.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna go into a rabbit hole for this one.
You're gonna try to figure out this one.
I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna prove my point.
Well, you can't.
No, you can't, because I debunked your point in one simple thing. That if they gave you chips back on a sports wager, then your point would make maybe a little bit of sense.
I agree with the fundamental reasoning. Like,
But table
it
games are
doesn't
more
feel
volatile
like
than
real
sports
cash
betting.
Right.
when you have chips or when you're betting.
That's not
a
why.
bet.
That's all I'm
That's
saying.
Not why.
Right. That's not why.
Right.
They're not like, hey, we're getting one over on
Right.
them.
You literally said that's why they use chips instead of cash, which is just patently false.
Okay, it's not the set in stone way, but you agree with my thing of if you had cash, you'd be more likely to. You're not as tied to it. The chips, you're like,
Chips don't feel like real money.
Exactly.
But
Got it.
Those are two totally different points.
Yeah. Okay.
You made a false comparison.
All right.
You agree you did that.
Yeah.
Like,
You're-
how
Maybe you're
could you
wrong.
play like blackjack roulette?
You
with
can't.
Exactly.
All right.
All right, so Peter Luger's, where are we at? Go ahead, finish.
I don't know. I mean, you definitely lose a step when you start letting people in with hats on. That's besides the
Cowboy
point.
hats?
Don't take the hat off. Yeah, that they lose. They definitely lost the point there. But I don't know. I thought it was great.
When's the last time you were there?
June anniversary.
Okay.
How often do you go?
Very rarely.
So maybe they'd be
I
doing
keep it as
better
like
if
a
they
treat.
had your patronage.
Yeah.
So you don't
Maybe
support
they
your
DM me.
local- Yeah.
I like I said, it was good. Would I go back there? Not in a million years because it's not close to me, too hard to get, and the food wasn't that good. It wasn't, relatively speaking, not
All right.
good enough to get me to go 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
If it was next door, how many times would you go to Peter Luger's?
Probably not that many times more, to be totally honest.
Well, Rico only goes once a year.
Like-
It's his
like-
favorite restaurant.
I mean,
in
the
the world.
old Homestead, which
It's a
is
treat.
right near me, their steak is, in my mind, better. So
Okay.
How do you go to your favorite restaurant only one time a year?
It's a lot of units.
when you're having
Save
the
it up.
season
I
he
like
is.
I like to try to treat myself.
Damn. I mean, I
It
go to
is a
my
heavy
favorite restaurant
steak,
more
yeah.
than once a year.
I mean, steak's a different animal.
I
but
do.
All right.
Okay. So if there's something that's your favorite,
I generally will go
more than once a year.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Before we do before we do the big games, look around you. It's wireless world, and everyone needs a great pair of wireless earbuds. But before you go dropping hundreds of dollars on a pair, you need to check out the wireless earbuds from Raycon. Rico, you have these wireless earbuds, right? Raycon, you already know Raycon earbuds start about half the price of any other premium wireless earbuds on the market, and that they sound just as amazing as other top audio brands you know. And Raycon's latest model, E25, is their best one yet. With 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design that gives you a nice noise-isolating fit, Raycon's wireless earbuds are so comfortable, perfect on the go listening and for taking calls. They wanted us to share our personal experience. Rico, your personal experience with Raycon wireless earbuds, you love them?
Love them.
Yeah. What do you use them for?
Re-listening to this podcast.
Okay,
See
nice.
how wrong I was.
Nice. You found that they've been good?
Yes.
Okay, great. So there was Rico's personal endorsement for Raycon's earbuds, wireless. They're stylish and discreet with no dangling wires or stems. Now's the time to get the latest and greatest from Raycon. Get 15% off your order at buyraycon.com/pick'em. That's buyraycon.com/pick'em for 15% off Raycon wireless earbuds. Buyraycon.com/pick'em. I actually do have them, and they are better than the other ones. So don't get listen. Everyone buys the Apple this, Apple that. Buy the Raycon.
I don't like that.
They're better. They got you by the balls. Go with Raycon. 15% off for code Pick'em. Okay, games. Any big thoughts before the games about the Michigan's back?
Yeah, that was the one thing I will say I did pretty good with last week.
well.
We touched on the big games. Nailed Michigan. Dave said no. Nailed Ohio State. Said Wazoo with Gordon. They were going to keep it close. The only one I was wrong on was the Longhorns, unfortunately, which was on the card.
Was that the game that we had the disagreement on?
Head-to-head, yes.
Yeah.
What's my record? It has like 30 and 0.
30 and 0.
No, yeah.
Something like
Every time
Feels like it.
we go head-to-head, I'm right and you're wrong.
I left
Feels
actually
like
a couple spots on my card in case you guys go to head-to-head.
for mine.
I'll be adding that.
Yeah, no, that one
I'll have a
Can you
couple
not
ones.
go head-to-head? Like,
I don't do it
you're
intentionally.
rooting for everybody
Well,
at this point. Can you
I
take,
mean-
if you're going to go head-to-head, can you?
I bet TCU and
I wish I had
the
that
over,
TCU.
so that was a 2-0. So
What I'm asking you is, I'm now.
that wasn't out of. I just know when you're like. You've turned
I know.
into like Rico the Square. Like I know when you're being the square.
Don't say that.
That was
Dave,
a square pick. No.
Dave, that was. Don't say that.
I mean, listen, Ellinger threw 3 picks. That
That's
kid,
really
you
mean,
know,
Dave.
It's just such a square pick.
That hurts. Are
It
you
was
a square?
a square pick.
I'm not a square.
Was that a square pick?
No, I thought.
Was it a square pick,
Are
Rico?
you a square?
It looked like it after. I mean, that's
Rico.
a
Are you
you know.
being a square?
Texas, like
After.
pick 'em with TCU 3-3. Was
Longhorns.
it a square?
Are you a
sick of
square?
pulling for the
Are you
Chiefs.
a
square?
All right. No,
And what-
I'm
the other
Rico
one.
the square
pants.
What was
and
the other one?
mousetrap.
Temple. That was a. Remember that?
No,
square?
Maryland.
Yeah, but Maryland Temple.
Yeah, it's Maryland.
Yeah, we
He
went
picked Maryland.
to square.
We put
I
on
know all
Rico
of them.
square
Yeah,
pants.
big old square.
Your little house under the sea.
Yeah, brownie.
I have the rationale. I got the
No,
wrong
there's no
information.
rush. Yeah.
TCU came out to play. What are you gonna do?
Oh, right. That was his information game. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
What was it? They
Oh.
quit on the team?
Pretty much.
Yeah, it didn't seem that way.
No, that's right. You had a text.
And then the
Yeah.
kid doubled
That's
down.
why, remember-
the kid doubled down this week, and he showed me like he was
Yeah.
ripping the offensive tackle who sat
no.
out, said it's bad for the team.
That's almost as
I'm
bad
like,
as
listen,
showing up.
I said, I love you. I said, please don't text me anymore about
Right,
TCU.
yeah.
Yeah, that would
Graveyard.
be that would be like
Graveyard. Oh, one way or the other. Graveyard.
someone trying to prove that the pick wasn't wrong the next day would be like showing up losing 12 units saying it was a coin flip.
Right.
I
That would
wouldn't
be
say
it.
that.
That would be the same thing.
Although, did you see Herb Street the other night? They said, what are some keys to the game with LSU Alabama? He said, I think LSU needs to take the toss, take the ball, and go right down
There
the
we
field.
go. That game's gonna be so awesome. That's next week. So this week there's not a huge card. Any changes in the LSU's number 1. I think Joe
Rightfully
Burrow.
so.
If Joe Burrow has a huge game against Alabama, I think he's going to be the Heisman. That's his Heisman game, right?
Right.
And I don't think. I mean, Oklahoma did the Oklahoma thing. I don't know why we don't say it more. Like when we did the Clemson thing.
We talked about Oklahoma last week.
No, I know, but I'm saying like Clemson. Remember when it was Clemson?
What did we say about them?
I can't even remember.
No, it was the future. Rico gave out
That's
Oklahoma
right.
as the future.
That's right. So count that against your
Yeah.
units.
I also have Ohio State and I have Oregon.
Okay, so the Oklahoma Clemsoning, that's Oklahoma.
Unbelievable.
They lose 8 out of the last 9 years.
And
They've
you've
lost
almost
as
always
double-digit
nailed that.
favorites.
I
For the
don't-
last 3 or 4
yeah,
years, I'm always
yeah.
like, they can make a run. I like Oklahoma. And you're like, nope, can't run through
Now,
the Big 12
now,
unscathed.
now,
Can't do
I
it.
will say what's happened in prior years, and there's always chaos, is they've managed after losing a game like this to somehow wiggle back into contention. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens this year.
It's true.
I mean, Notre Dame, they're done, so that helped Oklahoma. There's one team that you don't have to worry about.
But it's going to be tough because now you have, it seems like Clemson's not going to lose. Ohio State, I'll say Ohio State's not going to lose.
I don't disagree with you in the sense that Clemson has a very, very weak schedule. But have they shown us that they're
Yeah, they've been killing.
Are they capable
Pay
of-
attention
okay.
to the last 3 weeks. They've been killing teams. They have.
I know they hung in there with Carolina.
After the UNC game, they have been killing teams.
All right.
What's their? I mean,
I'm looking
just
now. I'm trying
pay
to pull
attention.
them up.
Louisville, they buried.
They buried BC. They
BC.
buried Louisville. They
These are
buried
all
Florida State.
horrific
They
teams.
are,
Yeah.
but that's what you
And they got
do.
Wofford this week.
All right, so after UNC, they beat FSU 45-14. They beat Louisville 45-10. They beat BC 59-7. That's what you do when you're a superior team playing a shit, squad. You bury them. So I give them credit.
But you know what game could be a little tricky for them? They're going to win that last game of the season at South Carolina.
I agree.
A little slippery.
Wake at home. That's their toughest game on paper right now, remaining. So they're going to be in. Ohio State, I don't think Ohio State's going to lose.
Me neither.
They're just on a different level. And LSU and Alabama, the loser is, in a weird way, the loser is going to have like a better situation because they don't have to play the extra game. I guess you'd have to let in, like, what would happen?
Then a one-loss Georgia team.
Yeah, so if Alabama, let's say Alabama beats LSU and Alabama goes to the SEC championship
Georgia?
and loses to Georgia, who then goes in? I think LSU would go in, right? Because LSU would have a better resume.
Which is so crazy.
Well,
that you don't even win your own. We agree with this.
That's what's going to happen.
But you'd have to, if it's a close game, yeah. If Alabama kills them, no.
If Alabama kills LSU,
yeah,
right.
If Alabama kills LSU and then loses in the SEC, I don't think then they're going to put LSU. They're not going to be able to say 2 one-loss teams. Alabama won by 30. Let's put LSU in.
Right. And then Oregon can maybe sneak back in if they run the table. I mean,
we just don't know. This is when it starts. We start doing it's the beauty of college football, but then you get the Oklahomas and you get crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yes, I bet Ohio State. I've been giving it out forever as my national title. I'm telling you what, you don't think it. Michigan, all of a sudden now, is looking like a team.
You came back on that?
Michigan's
They
dead.
suck you in every year.
No, but he's right. What Michigan did in the second half against Penn State, they turned a corner.
Michigan,
that was a defining moment for that team.
They destroyed Notre Dame. Michigan's dead to me. I will root for them against Ohio State. It puts me in a weird predicament because I got all this money on Ohio State. But Michigan now, after I saw them play Wisconsin, I've been like, the worst team ever. Michigan now looks like a team they're going to have nothing to play for. Ohio State's going to have everything to play for. It's in Michigan.
House, yep.
I'm telling you, watch out.
Take allegiances out of it, though. Where do you think Michigan can play with Ohio State?
Yeah, right now I do.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't.
Just
I
on
think
how
they would need. I wouldn't say play with them. I would say if Michigan to win that game would need 2 to 3 college football players.
Ohio State still hasn't played anybody. And I know Wisconsin, but Wisconsin's coming off that loss. They were a deflated team.
And the rain.
Yeah,
they cheated with the rain.
They haven't played anybody.
Cincinnati's a pretty good mid-major.
Oh,
buried them. Wisconsin. But that's why I like Fields. I was just asking Ev. We said it before we started taping. Fields is a sleeper to get into this Heisman conversation with the fact that he buried Wisconsin.
I don't even think he's a sleeper.
Still got State Penn. He's still got Michigan.
I think it's
and he's got the Big Ten championship game. He's got some marquee games here. We've seen guys jump late.
So
10-1.
Don't the votes end before the championship games?
No,
because it's the next Saturday. Is the don't they have to mail them in?
I'm nearly positive they go through the championship game.
Justin Fields, absolutely. I don't think he's even a dark horse. It's basically who plays better in the big games going down the stretch. Joe Burrow's going to play Alabama, and then Justin Fields has Penn State and Michigan.
Michigan beating
and the Big Ten title game.
Michigan beating Ohio State would fuck everything up too, because Michigan can't get in. Ohio State maybe theoretically still could get in if Ohio State beats Penn State. And then Michigan beats Ohio State. I assume Ohio State goes because the head-to-head. So then you have a team that just lost going to the Big Ten championship.
To that extent, we're not gonna go too deep into it. But by the same token, Bama beats LSU, Auburn beats Bama. That throws another monkey wrench into the whole thing too.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's a little. Auburn's not beating Bama. I don't think. Well, actually, where's that game?
I don't know.
If it's at Auburn, I could see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it is at Auburn, actually.
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
Yeah, Auburn. I mean,
but
who
says? Because Alabama and LSU would you each have one loss? You're saying?
Yeah, Auburn's already got 2, from my understanding.
Yeah,
Auburn's already got 2. Bama would have the 1.
LSU would have 1. LSU,
but LSU lost to Bama.
Right, so Bama would
go in. But Bama
Right.
would have only beaten LSU and still have a loss.
Yeah.
All right, so they do get the conference championship game. So you're right, Rico. I just looked at the Heisman voting protocol. All right, let's do the games. Georgia at Florida, world's biggest cocktail. Jacksonville. We've been to this game. It's a pretty cool atmosphere.
Cool atmosphere, but so spread out.
Tailgated,
just spread out everywhere.
They shut down Frat Beach too, right?
No, I don't think so. But that's not like that close.
No, it's like an hour away.
Yeah, I heard, yeah.
Great Rough and Rowdy last year.
Very far away.
Very far away.
Okay.
Florida's plus 6.5, over-under's 47. Georgia's coming off of a rainy, gross game against Kentucky where they just shut them down. Florida's coming off 2 big games and a bye. So they're both off a bye. Florida played Auburn and then LSU back-to-back. Emotional. Who do you like, Rico?
It just smells like a close one to me. I'm going to take the points. I like Florida.
Too many points?
No, just two evenly matched defensive-minded SEC teams. I'll take Florida.
Dave?
I love Florida. I don't. This line almost to me, the only thing I can rationalize in my head is people are still Georgia has been so good the last couple of years and so close to being Alabama, and Georgia has the last couple of seasons. All of a sudden, it's like they put their foot on the gas and they turn into a different team. They start slow. That's what you're going to have to be hoping for, because 6.5, and Florida didn't disgrace themselves at LSU. They should have covered that game. They're in that game the whole 6.5 to me is crazy. This should be like pick them to 3. Yeah. I can't believe it's 6.5.
I know the over under at 47, you kind of get screwed if you get a punt return, a pick 6, but I don't see it. I don't see this being like an offensive, back and forth.
So you like the under?
Yeah, Georgia likes to run the ball.
I don't hate it.
And I've watched Georgia's offense. They're not. It feels like they're not explosive.
They haven't hit that gear that they've hit the last couple of years.
Right. So
if they hit that gear though, they win this game at 20. I don't know. You are what you are right now for me. I love Florida.
Yeah, Florida's on my card. So Utah at Washington. Over unders 47.5. Utah's minus 3.5. Thoughts?
I'll take the fucking Huskies at home.
Yeah, plus 3.5. That hook. That's a football number and a hook.
Yeah, scary game.
By the way,
banged up. I like Utah, but it's not a game I would bet in a million years.
Washington beat Utah twice last year. I think Washington, Utah, has those big boys in the trenches. I think Washington's the only team that can kind of hang in that respect.
It's a big game. They're going to be up for it in Washington. I don't think Utah's that good to go into that type of hostile environment versus a very good team and win. This to me again is a surprising line. It really is.
All right, next up we have SMU Memphis. Maybe the best game of the weekend.
It's about time ESPN starts showing fucking respect to the lower conferences.
The floor is yours. Go ahead.
It's about time. There's been 50 of these games that could have happened over the last couple of years. It's good that we're giving these mid-majors the game day and the shine. Great game. It's going to be a great game.
Okay.
Are you giving any opinions on it or no?
Yeah. Well,
this is on my card both ways.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's on one side's on my card.
Okay.
You do need to know that SMU's leading wide receiver Robinson is questionable.
Okay. Now I know.
But I'll just give it right now. It's on the card. These two teams combined for 80 points a game, which is the highest on the board this week. Combined yards, 959 a game. The defenses are struggling. If you've been watching, they gave up 40 to Tulsa last week. 779.2 yards allowed combined. Even without the wide receiver, this seems like big strikes, airing it out. I don't know how you don't take the over here, and I'm actually almost scared that it's not towards 80. It's only at 70.5. I don't know how you don't take the over.
I agree with everything you said, and I was getting scared, though, as we were going. And it's one of those games where I agree with everything you said. I have it on my card as the over as well, but I will wait till the actual card section because part of my brain is now saying
too easy. But the other part of your brain needs to say, if you turn on this game and it's 14-14, 5 minutes in the game, you're going to kill yourself.
Yeah, in SMU, we watched it because we're at FanDuel for SMU Houston. SMU's defense played pretty well, and then they just give up a 90-yard play, whether that play where nobody's in the middle.
Right.
Two of them. I felt like there were two slants.
Yeah.
I remember from watching.
Yeah. You watched?
Yeah.
Nice.
Attaboy.
How many games you watched this week?
A lot.
Or those highlights? Did you watch
highlights
highlights of the game?
Thursday night. It was Thursday night.
That doesn't prove anything. Did you watch highlights of the game?
It was a standalone game. I was watching the game.
How many games did you watch this weekend on Saturday?
A lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you watch all of Michigan Notre Dame?
Yeah. It was gross.
Okay.
Once they had a 7-0 lead, there was no way to go. And the stupid kid from Notre Dame with the punt. I watched it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you watch Oregon, Washington State?
Yes.
The whole thing?
Late, yeah. I don't sleep. I have too many nightmares as it is.
Wow. Okay. All right. Speaking of Oregon, your Ducks, Rico. Oregon at USC. USC's plus 4.5 over under 62.5. I've actually gone back and forth on this game. I almost at one point had USC as my lock. I think I'm going to change that. I think I like Oregon now.
I think I know where Dave stands on this. I'm going to save this portion for a later segment in the show.
I love USC. I was very close to having them be my lock as well.
Yeah.
Very, very.
Here's what I'm nervous about. They're pretty banged up.
That's
Why did you say it now? We're doing it now. We're
I don't want to blow the load on the read at the end.
Okay. All right.
This game will be very close.
Yeah,
USC at home catching points. There is no dominant team. There's no Mariota in Oregon. Yeah, the quarterback's good, but they're not the same. You just take Dan. We learned this lesson where we're
I know. Yeah.
Penn State at home, Utah wasn't a fluke. They probably win this game. 5 is way too many.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do our cards and our Mortal Locks. This segment is brought to you by PointsBet Sportsbook. This week, they're giving new customers up to $150 to start betting with. You can sign up with the code Barstool to get started and deposit $50. You'll automatically get $100 in bonus bets. PointsBet has bets you won't believe, including Barstool's first touchdown promo for college football. Place a moneyline bet on select NCAA games, and if your team scores the first touchdown of the game, you win, even if your team goes on to lose. This past weekend, USC bettors got paid out less than a minute into the game against Colorado. PointsBet also has new Barstool boosters every week for all of our favorite teams. Plus, this week we've got some boosters for the Florida-Georgia game, where we'll be this Saturday. Willie, Large, Pat, and Captain Cons will be there.
That is a drinking group.
Yes, it is.
Yikes. Watch out for the cocktail party.
Actually, now that I just said that, that is literally the top 4 drinkers.
PointsBet should have like a separate prop whether like Captain Cons somehow ends up on the field.
Whoa. That didn't even dawn on me.
Yikes.
Damn. Be sure to check those out on their app. Remember, sign up with code Barstool, deposit $50. You'll get $100 in bonus bets automatically. Again, that's promo code Barstool. And if you're not in New Jersey, you can play PointsBet Pick 6 game online, where they're giving away up to $25,000 a week. All you have to do is pick 6 football teams you think will win that week. You can go to PointsBetPick6.com with the number 6 to play. Terms and conditions apply. Void where prohibited. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Hank, do you have a pen around you? Does anyone have a pen? Extra pen? Here we go. It's terrible. What are you fucking laughing about? You didn't catch it?
No, I didn't.
Throw it back. I caught it.
All
right. Cards. Rico.
I'm going first?
Yeah, go first.
All
I'm gonna
right.
go last because like I said, I left a couple
Later in the
spots.
clubhouse.
I left a couple spots
All right.
open for extra plays.
So, where are we at? BYU has 4 offensive linemen on the injury report. 2 definitely out. 1's unknown. 1's not likely. I like Utah State at home -3.5. Kansas State -6. I know it's a sandwich spot. Coming off that big win with Oklahoma. They got Texas on the horizon going into Kansas. This was my game of the year in 2011, 2012, 2013. Kansas State.
Had this as your game of the year 3 years in a row?
Yeah. It was.
Wow.
I remember it being like it was 11, and the next year they rose it to like 15. I was like, this isn't enough. They hammered them. They won one year like 59-10. Yeah. Bill Snoddy. That's what I say all the time. Whereas out-of-style windbreakers beats the shit out of Kansas. I know he's not coaching, but certain things don't change. Kansas gives up 100 more yards a game this year. I think Kansas can control the ball. I don't think Kansas has seen a defense like Kansas State. I like this a lot. I like Kansas State -6.
I have that on my card as well. Is this going to be your game of the year?
No, it's not my game.
Oh, yeah, that was
Rico.
Appalachians.
Rico.
Who was it?
What?
Who was this game of the year? Toledo?
Oh, yeah. This game, wrong.
No, you're wrong, Dave.
Head to head.
Oh.
Put it in the head.
Shit.
Wrong.
Okay. But did you hear the part where he had his game of the year, 2010,
Wrong.
11, 12?
Wrong. This is a Johnny SquarePants pick. Walked right into it.
Rico,
Sorry.
stay firm. I'm with you on Kansas State.
Nope.
I know it's gonna look stupid. I love the board this week.
Okay, I do too.
Notre Dame. I'll
Mark
give you a
that
stat.
down. That's wrong.
All right. Since 2014, Notre Dame is 6-11 straight up and 5-12 against the spread after the second loss of the season. So you start looking at that rationally. What does it really mean?
Sounds a lot like a list pick.
They don't play in a conference. They have nothing really to play for. They kind of lose the traction here. I like Virginia Tech plus 17.5, even as bad as they've been.
Okay.
I like Virginia Tech 17.5. And I think Notre Dame can still control the game and Virginia Tech staying within the number. Florida, we touched on. I just think that's an SEC game that's close.
Too many points.
Yeah, pretty much. Too many points.
Yeah.
Hawaii, -1.5 on the island. They clinched their win total this week.
You were all over them last week.
Yep.
That was a good pick last week.
Fresno, yeah, and I just sweated out at the end.
I know, I saw.
Stupid. I could have got you could have got a nice middle on that though. Fresno Pasty got shredded last week on Colorado State, which I did not see. I was almost on Fresno last week. Defense looks really weak. I like Hawaii. They've not seen an attack like this, and if it gets into a track meet, Fresno cannot stay up with it, running those dives and counters and shit that they run. SMU Memphis, we touched on that over. I think that's very easy. Almost lock of the week is how I almost want to make it a double. That's how confident I am. And I'm saving the lock of the week.
Okay. I'm surprised you don't have your boys plus 11.5 in Knoxville.
It's an interesting spot.
It is.
Tennessee's
I could see them
turned a
being
little
an
bit
8.
of a corner.
A little bit of a corner, but
Yeah.
UAB's probably.
Well, the running back Brown is out. If it's low, it's going to be low scoring. It's going to be ugly. I think they'll stay within it. I'll be rooting for them. They're sending me up some gear. So I like them, but it's not something I'm confident that I want to put on the card.
Okay. Dave, your card.
So coming off a huge week, I feel like now I am seeing the board very clearly. I got 16 games. I'm debating on a 17th.
Here we go.
Start with Georgia Southern plus 15 against App. I've been betting on Georgia Southern. They've been delivering. The total, I don't know if it's a weather situation. It
is a weather situation.
It opened at 50. It's down to 44.
It's a weather situation.
What does that
I think
mean?
it's raining. I think it might be wind as well.
Does Georgia Southern still run the triple option? I don't know if they were phasing that out or not. Years ago they did.
I
was
believe-
betting
Yeah, it
on
looks like rain.
when they had Breda.
Okay, so the total is to 44. I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna take the over 44. So Georgia Southern over.
What if it's a monsoon? I'm looking for it right now.
If it's a monsoon? I'd like it stricken.
Have you
from
watched
record.
Georgia Southern? Do you know if they're running the triple option?
No, I just been betting.
Okay.
But they've been winning big for me, money line, everything. I have. This is the only pick. I don't know what to do about this. I had to put it on there. So I bet Michigan every single week this season. I have not won. I haven't won. I've been on the wrong side of them every week. Minus 21 against Maryland. Maryland is so bad.
So bad.
So I'm taking Michigan.
I agree with that pick.
But I haven't won on them all season.
I like that pick a
Dave,
lot.
here's an update for you. It looks like 100% chance rain. Just telling you.
Rain doesn't bother me. Wind bothers me.
If it's a lot of rain, though, we saw that in a couple games this past weekend.
And App State's D has now picked it up just when I was saying
Thunderstorms,
that
100%. Actually, it actually looks like it might wind 20 miles an hour. It looks like it's gonna. So kickoff is 7.
Keep
so
your eye
it
on
could
the
get
weather.
better. It could get better.
Keep your eye on the weather. Somebody's playing UFC. Oh, Houston UFC minus 22. I think Houston stinks. I think Houston was very lucky to cover on Thursday night. We had that game, Dan. We watched it. They looked weak to me. So I'm going to take UCF minus 22. I already gave this out. I have Kansas on my card, plus 6, Kansas State. I don't care what you say. It's a letdown spot. I know, Rico, you bet.
rivalry game though.
This is the first time Les Miles there. This Kansas team has shown life against teams. They're going to be ready for this game. They're going to be up for this game, and they will give them hell. They may win this game. Florida plus 6.5. I feel the same way. These may be sprinkle money line games, people.
Oh.
Yeah, Florida plus 6.5. I like Oklahoma State. Same logic. TCU coming off that Texas win. Oklahoma State sitting here at home minus 3. I like them. I like. Like Illinois. They another decent win after the Wisconsin, so they're starting to get it together. And Rutgers sucks.
Yep.
So Illinois minus 20.5
Champaign.
at home. Yep. I have Army plus 14.5 in my personal revenge game against the Falcon, who I fucking hate. That's the only reason. This is just betting against that dead Falcon, who has cost me so much money. I have Arkansas plus 7.5 against Mississippi State. Mississippi State should be favored versus anybody. Washington plus 3.5 at home versus Utah. This is one of my situational plays coming up here. Oregon State on the road at Arizona plus 5.5. Those Pac-10 teams that are 3 to 6 point dogs on the road when you think it should be more tend to win these games.
They call you West Coast Davy.
West Coast Dave.
Yep.
So Utah
West
kinda
Coast
fits in that
Davy.
rationale though. Plus
What?
3, plus 3.5.
No,
No,
because-
Utah's the other way.
Yeah,
Utah's minus 3.5.
Oh, right. All right, sorry. Never mind.
they're the exact
Don't
opposite.
question West Coast Davy.
Yeah. Indiana at home. I'm done with you, Northwestern.
Yep.
I'm fucking
Yep.
done with you. You can't score. So if Indiana gets 2 touchdowns, they should cover.
That's
at
what is
home.
that? 11?
12.
12.
I have it as 12.
I now have 29.
I do have the over in SMU Memphis 70. I'm very nervous about that now.
Yeah.
I have UVA plus 2.5 at UNC. I
I'm
think they're
opposite. I
like
way
that.
better than them. USC plus 5 at home against Oregon, and San Jose State plus 17.5 at home versus Boise. Low scoring, close game. Watch that one unfold. Be like, how'd West Coast Dave know that?
Ooh. West Coast Davey.
West Coast
All right.
Dave.
I have
You're
29
going to the West Coast, too. So you're fully embracing West Coast Dave.
I'll be on West Coast time. That's
All right.
when things sink. And, I put another week together like that, and suddenly I'm in the plus.
All right. I have 29 plays.
Yikes.
I did sit down and do research. I sat there for 3 hours and went through every single game. All right, so I'll start. Nebraska minus 2.5 at Purdue. I think Adrian Martinez is going to be back. Purdue is a mess.
They stink.
UAB plus 11.5. I am taking them.
For the kids.
Baylor minus 17. That's a Thursday night game. USC plus 5. BC plus 3. And the over 60 in that game.
Who
Both
they playing?
Syracuse. So both those defenses stink.
Syracuse
You
stinks.
switched on that?
What?
USC? You
No, I
originally-
said I loved them as my lock,
Okay.
and then I thought about Oregon. Then I'm back on USC. It's
right.
not my lock though. It was USC was almost my lock
Got
at one
it.
point. Florida plus 6.5. Washington plus 3.5. UConn Navy over 54.5. That is on Friday night. Vanderbilt plus 15. UNLV plus 9.5 and the over 61.5. Kansas State minus what are we saying? 6 or 6.5?
It could go. I had 6 from
All
what
right,
I
so
wrote
we'll
down
say
from-
Kansas State minus 6. I'm having that as well. UNC minus 2.5. So Dave and I are opposite there. TCU plus 3. Did anyone have that on their board?
Dave's
TCU Oklahoma
opposite.
State.
He's against
Opposite.
TCU.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's
Illinois
yeah.
minus 20.5. Dave and I are on the same as that. Arkansas plus 7.5. That's against Mississippi State.
He
Yeah.
said that.
You have Arkansas?
Yeah.
Okay. SMU plus 6 and the over 70.5. Army Air Force under 45 when the service academies play always goes under. Michigan minus 21. Pitt Georgia Tech under 45. Indiana minus 12. I'm surprised you didn't put the under on this as well, Dave. Under 45.5 in that game.
Wait, what game under?
Indiana Northwestern.
Oh. Because
Northwestern cannot score.
they're the worst offense since the forward pass.
Yeah.
I mean, really. It's crazy.
Auburn Ole Miss under 53. Bowling Green Akron under 50. Florida State Miami under 47. My lock of the week is USC Oregon over 62.5.
Over 62.5.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a lot of plays. Yikes. Here's the thing though. Dave, you see my sheet right now.
Mm-hmm.
I came here with this, so this was not a scrolling through it. I went through. I can't help liking what I like.
And I know you did some research.
No.
That Bowling Green Akron under you
Yeah.
took, right?
Yeah.
Those two teams from my spreadsheet, which you get if you buy the newsletter, it's the lowest scoring total on the board combined. They combine it to score, I think, 22 points a game combined.
I can't stop helping what I like. I like what I like. The heart wants
It's
what
all
the
in the
heart
preparation.
wants.
It's all in the preparation.
All in the money's in the crumbs.
Yes.
I love my board. I love it. I love when I see a lot of dogs and points.
got a lot of unders
My
there, too.
points bet mortal lock Arkansas plus 7.5 against Mississippi State. I said earlier Mississippi State shouldn't be favored by 7.5 versus anybody. And I try to stick to the one, but if you really whatever, I'm gonna do the 3-dog bite. 3-dog bite mortal lock. So USC, Arkansas, Florida.
Ooh, I like that. Okay. Go to PointsBet right now. Put in promo code Barstool, and to get started, deposit $50. You'll automatically get $100 in bonus bets. Let's go around the room. So Dave's got the 3-dog bite. Liam, Virginia Tech plus 17.5 at Notre Dame. Pitt for
Who are
Dylan.
they playing? Pitt's playing Georgia Tech. Okay.
I have the under in that game. That's going to be an under game. Gators
Florida,
for Big Ev.
A lot
Hank.
of Gators in here.
Yeah,
Virginia.
That makes me nervous.
Virginia for Hank.
Money line.
Rico, you are the
So-
last mortal lock
Yeah.
of the week.
I like so many of these that I could double up too, but we'll stick to the.
I'm going to double up. I'm going to take the SMU over as
Okay.
my other mortal lock. So I have 2 overs
I'm
for
in.
my mortal
You know
lock.
what?
There's
I'm
a
in.
double,
Some pu-
there's a double
I'm in.
scoop over mortal lock.
There
Come
could
in.
be some public reversals because we're all so aligned that makes me nervous. Like that Houston game where I publicly reversed and took the fucking
Yeah.
points.
I canceled USC because of those black uniforms in Colorado Friday night. That was good. I
Yep.
didn't reverse. I canceled.
Smart.
I should have reversed.
So I love that SMU over. I love Utah State. BYU was also on a second quarterback, which I didn't even talk about. I love Kansas State. Love Hawaii. But Oregon, we talked about USC being banged up. Their 2 top running backs are out.
Doesn't matter.
The
USC.
second leading tackler, a safety, is out. Their
Over.
D lineman, who's
Over.
the top tackle for loss, out.
Over.
Yeah, I like this a lot. I really, really like the Ducks here. They're a poised team. Herbert didn't come back to go to the fucking Citrus Bowl. He's going to make a run at this thing.
Wait. I don't know if I agree with poised. I feel like they're always in games where the fourth quarter gets very dicey. Wouldn't you say Oregon?
Well, the
Auburn game?
Mirabal is one of the worst clock management guys who ever lived. He's fucked that up a couple times.
The Washington
That's
State
his name,
game,
right? Mirabal?
Cristobal.
Cristobal.
Mario Cristobal. So you just combine
He's a good coach, good recruiter. Not great. Though.
End of the game.
Yeah. So your mortal is
I
Oregon.
don't know if it will matter. I think Oregon
Well, you're
might
hoping
get
it.
a
Wow.
Well, clearly you don't if
I
you're taking
don't
Oregon.
I don't think it'll matter.
But the poised thing makes me nervous that that's in your handicapping. Being like they're a poised team.
And I also your mortal's Oregon.
Right. Now, did you know about all these injuries with USC?
No, I don't really care about that.
All right.
Because like you say things like the top 2 running backs are out. I know this. That does not matter at USC. They got probably 5 interchangeable running backs. Like things like that do not matter.
Hey, it's a good
at
pick.
USC.
It's your good pick if you like it.
I like Oregon a lot.
Okay. Quack quack.
Quack quack.
Do a real quack.
I'm not a good quack.
That was good. That
was
sounded
good.
like
That's
a
a good one.
Do it.
I'm bad. I don't know if I can do
Do
it.
it.
It's gonna be hard.
Do it.
Quack quack.
No, Dave.
Quack quack.
There we go.
All right, that's the pick 'em.
All right.
We got anything else?
No, we're good.
All right, everyone. Good luck. I hope things go well.
Yep.